Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Cryptocurrencies look like they're getting ready for the next big move higher, and this is actually happening pretty quickly as we just slowed down for a day or two, and it already seems like we're going to start moving higher again. So Bitcoin is of course taking the lead here. It's been pretty much the strongest overall cryptocurrency. Of course, some cryptocurrencies have gone higher during this period of time, but as far as general strength, compared to its size, it's definitely very strong here, stronger than Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, and then the bigger ones like that. So that's something to pay attention to. I think that's a good sign. Now, over the past 24 hours, like I said, a slight pullback, but we're already looking like we might start to move higher again. And I'm going to cover everything in more detail during our technical analysis. As per usual, don't forget to check out my technical analysis master course. I have a huge discount going on right now. You can get 70% off by using the code TRT70 at checkout, and this is a very exceptional discount. So don't wait thinking that you're going to get a better deal. This is as good as it's going to get, and you'll get this course for only $297, which is an absolute steal in my opinion. If you're not satisfied with the course within 30 days, you can send me an email and you'll get a full refund. So you really have nothing to lose by giving this course a try. I'm sure you'll be satisfied, and 30-day money-back guarantee, so no risk there. Now, don't forget to follow me on Twitter as well for live cryptocurrency market updates. And with that being said, we're going to jump right into the technical analysis here. So Bitcoin is actually holding up surprisingly well. It managed to remain above its upper Bollinger Band, and we still have good buying volume. Indicators still quite high, and we could even start to push, and get another breakout again here. So the reason for that is because we didn't end up just yet getting back into our Bollinger Band range, and that could mean that we're going to see, even more of an extended move. So right now the current candlestick is still a little bit indecisive because we weren't able to get back above $7,600, which would have been our true bullish signal. But we did put in a higher low, and like I said, we're still not back into that Bollinger Band range. So we'll see, over the next day if we're going to be able to get back above $7,600. That should spark a bull move towards $8,000 and above even, and if that doesn't happen, we're probably just going to slowly but surely re-enter this Bollinger Band range and maybe fall back a bit lower, towards maybe even $7,100 or a bit less towards $7,300. But at this point, even if we do end up moving lower, I think that it'll be a very small drop, and you'll see on other cryptocurrency charts that, for one, Bitcoin, is continuing its move higher, quite literally, and other cryptocurrencies are actually, already towards some stabilization areas. So we're going to take a look at Ethereum now, see what's going on. And Ethereum is currently testing its middle band, which is a logical, support area where it can get a bounce. Also, that's in line with the 50 line on the RSI, so that's another logical area to get a bounce. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised here to see a bounce, and that would basically just start moving higher from here alongside with Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies, because a lot of these altcoins actually came back on their, predicted support levels, and that's where they would logically get their first, bit of stabilization and bounce, and that's perfectly in line with Bitcoin starting to move higher and continuing that momentum. So we could actually avoid, to get a drop for now and get another little push, which would be fantastic. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is experiencing a doji candlestick, which is also an indecision candlestick, but here we did get our drop and now we're getting this, so that could also lead to, moving higher from here. We didn't actually come back and test our middle band. We'll see if that ends up happening, within the next 2-3 days, but either way, that's not a very big drop. So we already have some support here at $86, and that's why we're stabilizing in this area. If within the next day we're able to get back above $90, I think we're getting a pretty nice push to $100 pretty quickly here within the next week or so. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Nano, and see what's going on. And by the way, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on all of this. Where do you think the market is heading? So right now, Nano is unfortunately not looking great. We are back to 35,000 Satoshis. I'm not sure if there was any bearish news or anything like that, but this is definitely a little bit surprising here, considering that the rest of the market is actually looking pretty good. So it's acting weak compared to other cryptocurrencies, and we're still okay for now. That's not a huge drop, but this could lead to more downside here if we don't slow down, and we want to bounce very quickly here, because this is not a good sign. So got to be careful here for Nano. Like I said, not sure if there's any particular news that's causing this, but the price action isn't great right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple. Now, Ripple is also coming up on its middle band, and that is where I think we could get a bounce here. I'm also going to draw in our uptrend line in the short term. So that's pretty much, just a little bit below our middle band. So like I said, either way here, unless we get some kind of huge bad news and we get a crazy drop, which is very unlikely at this point, any drop from now on in the short term will be pretty minor here. So I think that we could already start moving higher again based on the fact that we tested this middle band, which was, exactly what I wanted to see, and that will be, enough pullback to start moving higher again. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be NEO. See what's going on. So NEO unfortunately didn't get back above its bigger resistance level just yet. With that being said, we are now testing our support area near our middle band and uptrend line. And if we look at the indicators, we are also starting to stabilize a bit. So, kind of 50-50 here. We could start to see a little bit of consolidation, I think, for NEO. But if we're able to get a green candlestick here within the next day, we're going to be good for a reattempt at $43, and I think that if we do reattempt that, we'll be able to get back above that level this time around. So, the next day is going to be pretty critical here for a lot of cryptocurrencies, just to let us know if we're going to, maybe consolidate a bit, or if we're already going to start to move higher again. I think that we have a very good chance of already moving higher from here. Let's go ahead, take a look at EOS, see what's going on. So we're going to take a look at the Binance chart. EOS is now coming up on its $10,000 support level, sorry, 10,000 Satoshi support level. And like I said, this is actually a pretty important area for EOS because a move below that is going to push us down to our longer term uptrend line over here, which is actually a little bit below 10,000 Satoshis. So, not the end of the world if that does end up happening. It obviously got a very big move not that long ago. And if we take a look at the indicators, definitely seeing some weakness here, especially on the RSI that could dip below the 30 line. So I'd like to see EOS get a bounce here on the 10,000 Satoshi level. And if not, probably going to come and test that uptrend line. If we look at where the end of our symmetrical triangle formation is, and I'm going to just change the color of this, it's getting a bit confusing, but basically if you look at these two yellow trend lines, that forms a symmetrical triangle, and usually what ends up happening is we reach the end of the symmetrical triangle formation before breaking out higher or lower, and that usually sets a trend. So right now it looks like it's not looking like we're going to get a move higher just yet. Based on what we're seeing today, it looks like we're going to maybe see a drop to the uptrend line or some consolidation, but this is, a couple months here until we reach the end of the formation. So it's a little bit surprising, and we'll have to see, how the rest of the market is doing to really see if this is just unique to EOS or if the rest of the market is going to experience some downside and consolidation. We'll have to see, but we will get much more clarity within the next day or two. Let's go ahead, take a look at Stellar Lumens, see what's going on. So Stellar Lumens is still acting very well here. I'm going to zoom out a bit. We didn't manage to put in a higher high, but we did manage to get back above 4,000 Satoshis, and that's already a great sign. We already had a huge candlestick. We've been on a run up for several days now. I'll go ahead and put in our short-term uptrend line, and that's just an amazing sign, right? Because what that tells us is we are looking to basically really we're in a different ball league here compared to where we're just a while back, right, where we're still looking very bearish. We completely recovered from that. This is one of the strongest cryptocurrencies right now. It has a bunch of bull news behind it, including the possibility to be added to Coinbase. So indicators, still on a very steady uptrend. Same thing with the price. However, we didn't manage to get back. We didn't manage to stay above our uptrend line. We'll see if that happens within the next day or two. But I feel like, at this point, we already got a pretty big move. I think that we're going to slow down a bit and just consolidate, maybe reach the end of our symmetrical triangle formation. And that would be the more bearish scenario. That what would cancel that is, any move where we were able to stay above the downtrend line would basically fully confirm that, we're ready to move higher and maybe start pushing our all-time highs sooner than expected. So definitely not hating on Stellar. I think it's absolutely one of the better cryptocurrencies right now. Very well set up nonetheless. Let's go ahead, take a look at Liske, see what's going on. And we're going to go over to the Bittrex chart for that. So Liske is pulling back towards this uptrend line. Once again, that is a logical area to get a bounce. And if we look at the indicators, a little bit on the weaker side. So once again, could get a bounce here, start moving higher again already, or we're going to see some type of consolidation. Let's go ahead. Liske hasn't been acting the strongest, though, I will say that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano, see what's going on. We're going to take a look at the Bittrex chart here. Cardano, also one of the cryptos that's looking to be added on Coinbase, and acting strong, a little bit less strong than Stellar, but good nonetheless. We have, however, started to see a couple signs of resistance here at 2,500 Satoshis. We got a red doji candlestick, which could lead to a reversal at this point. And I think that looks like it's going to happen, right? Maybe a move to 2,330 Satoshis just to, get a bit of a breather in, because this is a very steep uptrend line. With that being said, if we do manage to get a green candlestick here on the next one, that'll lead to a move above 2,500 Satoshis, which will, put us in a much better position, much better bullish area. So that could happen. Like I said, we'll see in the next day or two. If cryptos will be able to get one more push higher, that'll basically clear out some of the bearish hints here. But we have to wait and see, because right now doji candlesticks are indecision candlesticks, and at the end of the day, you need to wait for confirmation, right? That's what technical analysis tells us. So let's go ahead and take a look at IOTA now for our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. Also getting some signs of a little bit of a pullback here. We can see that IOTA is pulling back from its downtrend line, and we're now heading toward what looks like to be our $1 support level, maybe even our uptrend line. Once again, not that big of a drop either way, and I think that once we reach the end of the symmetrical triangle formation, which is coming up pretty soon here, we'll be able to move higher again and really get an attempt at $1.50 this time around. So I think that even if we're going to see a little bit of consolidation and pullback here across the market, I think that we will manage to move higher within the next month, pretty significantly even. And don't forget to check out my technical analysis master course with that huge discount going on right now. Limited to less than 100 actually discount codes are still available, so take advantage.